What's up, Dirty Cones? So, some of you will be happy. I actually have my little notes with me today, and some of you will not be happy. I know you guys seem to like when I don't talk as much. You're like, I wish she sure would just talk just a little bit less. Or, hey, you were pretty messed up in that last one, weren't you? I will say that I was tired. It was a good night. So, first question, how to hold your breath. Or I guess in the example, guy was having trouble, but he said he could hold his breath for a minute, but he was having trouble doing 10-ups. And if that's the case, then I gotta go with you. It's in your head. If you can hold your breath for a minute, you should be able to do a 10-up, no problem. Because on average, it takes a person 30 seconds to swim underwater from one end of the pool to the other, 25-meter pool. It takes about 30 seconds to swim the active recovery on your way back. And then, so it's doable. It's not that hard. I think it is in your head. I know that sounds, easy, or it's a lame answer, but if you can, it's all in your head. I swear to God, underwater's knots, ditching dawn, treading water. Well, maybe not treading water. Treading water, you gotta learn how to do that. But everything else, if you're able to run sub 7-minute mile and doing about the average, say 50-60 push-ups, 50-60 sit-ups, 12-13 pull-ups, you've got the cardio. You might be lacking a little bit in the endurance, but you've got the cardio for it, so you just gotta do it. Just tell your head you can do it. That's, a big part of buddy breathing. It's just getting used to clearing on that snorkel. So, breath holding, a lot of it is mental. Once you're at that physical. Now, if you were, 300-400 pounds and never ran and stuff like that, then I would be like, well, it might be physical. But generally speaking, as most of you guys are pretty healthy and you get prepared for this, I would go with it's mental. So work on your mental breath holding ability and just relaxing. When you see the danger line, does it make you want to speed up? When you see the T's at the bottom of the pool, where you're like, oh, I gotta get to the end, or do you just keep your pace and you'll get there? Slow and steady wins the race. A lot of questions on eye standards lately, which I think has been pretty interesting. So, you need to have color vision. They have a test and it's got a bunch of numbers, I don't know what it's called, or letters, and you're like, you gotta pick it out. They have a depth perception test that has, where does the line cross at the stairs, or the circles, or which ones are closer. Those could be tricky. When you put your head in and your forehead's on it, you have to look up. You can't look straight on them. If you look, sometimes you can see them when they're straight on, but sometimes you can't. If you kind of look up, you'll see them better. I think, shoot, I wrote it down too, but I can't read it because it's in the dark. PPK or PRK for the eyes, only one of them is doable. But I think you're DNIF for about a year. So, think about what you want to do. Eyesight can be they would like 20/20, but no less or no worse than 2200. But with glasses correctable to 20/20. So if you got 20/70 or 2100, I think you're good, because as long as you can put on a pair of glasses and see 20/20, no worries. So there is that. So I thought it was pretty good. CCT questions were I know some of you guys are like, dude, why do you leave out Sal T, or you leave out TAC P, or you leave out CCT, or I don't mean to. I apologize. I'm trying to get everybody in there. I do feel bad because I love all the career fields are good and they're all filled with good people, and much like I got a pretty cool essay from Tanner about all kinds of pretty deep stuff. I enjoyed his essays for sure, and I'll share with you my response to him, or part of it, because what I wanted to say is that I don't know, to me the ultimate thing is to be an enlightened being, and to achieve it is my goal, and everybody's got a different goal and different paths, and everybody's going different speeds, you know. Well, we're all generally heading in the same direction, especially if you're all trying to be PJs, but everybody's gonna get there different. Everybody's got different strengths, different weaknesses, different backgrounds, things that make them good, things that make them bad, things that help them, things that hinder them, and what might be an answer for me isn't necessarily the answer for you. So, you know, look for your answers. Question, learn, all that kind of stuff. He had a pretty good thing from Dostoevsky, Crime and Punishment, and what I wrote back to him was that it is about the rituals and the things that make us extraordinary. It's what we do that makes the world a better place and causes more good action. It causes more good. Action causes actions and ripples become waves. And I put, be a wave, my friend. So I think what I want to say is, if you're doing this for other people, you're doing this to make the world a better place. You're doing this because you want to give rather than take. I think you'll do well. Because if you're selfish and in it for the wrong reasons, it makes it really hard to stick around when things start getting tough. And I don't know. So I thought that was pretty important. I wrote him a whole long thing. I won't share with you the whole thing, but it does make me happy that there are a lot of you guys out there and you get it and you understand what I'm trying to do and what I'm trying to say, and that, you know, it's about making the world a better place. So make yourself better, and then everything else will follow. Fourth question, Crow versus PJ. What should you do? How about become a PJ, then become a Crow? That way you know what you're doing, you have the experience, you have the knowledge, and you're ready for the progression. I think that's a good idea. If you want to go Crow, go Crow. If you want to be a PJ, be a PJ. I can tell you why one, you know, speaks to me more than the other, but that's me. Like I said, everyone's got a different path. I like the actual physical rescuing of people. You know, I don't have any interest in being in charge, or like having to make stupid decisions on, you know, what's the uniform of the day, or what are we doing. No, man, just let's train and be PJs. That's kind of my take. But I recognize that we need people in charge who want to, you know, figure out what we're doing day to day. You know, it's just like the President of the United States. You know, we need someone that wants to be president. I don't want to be president. That's way too much stress and work. I'd rather just put me under a helicopter, go rescue people, and I'm good. You know, I'm a simple creature. I like having a good time with my friends and, you know, doing cool stuff. That's pararescue. You know. So if you were in the Air Force, here's the last question, and you're coming back, do you have to go through basic, or, you know, say you're in the Army, do you have to go through basic? The answer is no. So if you've been in the military and you're coming to the Air Force, I think everything except the Coast Guard, you go through a 2-week, and they call it a rebluing, and they just kind of teach you, you know, how the Air Force does stuff, and how it might be a little bit different from where you came from. I think if you went to basic, and as long as it's within, you know, 4 to 6 years, I don't think they'll send you back through basic. They might, at the worst, send you through a rebluing, like I said, 2-week course. but you might not have to go. So look into it. Ask the recruiter. Just like if you've graduated indoc, I want to say within the last 2 years or so, I don't think they'll make you go back. So yeah, so it's a little longer than I thought. Well, I knew it was gonna be long because I had like 5 or 6 questions to answer, and but it had been a while. There's one more question. Indoc, gender neutral, women, what's going on? So they are conducting a test right now on Medina and Lackland to see, what's going on. You read about it in the newspaper or, online. It's all out there. They're trying to figure out what can a normal guy do, what can a normal girl do, what's a gender neutral standard. Now, indoc, push-ups, pull-ups, sit-ups, our run, swim, everything, has been gender neutral since 1989. I don't exactly know why. I think it has I know it has something to do when they combine the two schools. And I think somebody was leaning forward, so they looked into, what are, they foresaw that people might say something or, argue the standard. So if they made it a gender neutral standard, nobody could ever complain. Be like, hey, it's good. So there's that. But the indoc, well, the Air Force has always been looking towards like a PAT. For a firefighter, you gotta like climb stairs, jump a ladder, climb a bridge, I don't know, whatever. I can't think. Performance aptitude test, PAT? Firefighter PAT? Anybody? Let me know. I know it's a PAT. Anyway, so they're coming up with, physical, can you pick up a body, climb a fence, jump a wall, rope climb, mountain climb, squat, pick up a body, drag it 50 feet. Anyway, I don't think it's bad. I think performance-based things, are probably, one, the wave of the future, but two, might that be a better test of what you can do? Can you push a Humvee 300 feet in, X amount of seconds versus, can you do 70 push-ups in 2 minutes? What tests are you been doing push-ups out there, or might you be, in downtown Baghdad, and you got to push your Humvee to safety or to cover somebody? So, I'm not against performance tests. In fact, I kind of like those better because, they are actual what you might do versus, sit-ups. Although sit-ups are good. You need to do sit-ups. So make sure you're doing your cals. Make sure you're working out. Make sure you're staying strong, mentally, physically, spiritually. Make sure you guys are talking to each other. Make sure, you're open for suggestions. You're open for critiques. You're open for criticism. I'm not saying about negative criticism, but you guys got to be honest with each other with, your push-ups suck. Whatever. What was I gonna say? So, we got t-shirts. If you guys are interested, and I think I'll put it up on Instagram. But the t-shirts are for the Others May Live Foundation. Well, once we make the money to cover our t-shirts, everything else will go towards. So I just gotta pay what I paid for the t-shirts, and the rest of the money will go towards the Special Operations Warrior Foundation and the Others May Live Foundation. So if you guys want a t-shirt, they're $10 plus postage and handling. So that might be like another $3. So for about $13.49, because I think I mailed something the other day for $3.49, you can have one of our wonderful Battlefield Airmen Memorial Ruck Run t-shirts. And like I said, I'll put the picture up on Instagram, so if you guys want to check that out, just email me and I'll give you an address and stuff. So that's about it. I'm selling t-shirts, trying to make the world a better place, and it's Memorial Day weekend. So, hope you guys are good. Remember to take a second to be grateful for life and grateful for the people that came before us that protected us. And have a good one. Hoo-yah.